Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel BBC Rare Coins. Today we're diving into one of the most iconic and collectible coins in American history, the wheat penny. Let's start it. Top 1. Today we're talking about a coin that looks so ordinary, yet could be worth a staggering $65,000. A 1940 wheat penny that's gone viral for its unbelievable value and extreme rarity. The 1940 Lincoln wheat cent is one of the most common coins of its time, with hundreds of millions minted. But there's a twist. Some versions of this coin are incredibly rare and have sold for tens of thousands at auction. One particular 1940 penny, because of a rare error and perfect condition, was valued at an astonishing $65,000. But what makes it worth that much? It all comes down to mint errors, rare varieties, and pristine condition. One of the most valuable types is a 1940 penny struck on a foreign silver planchet. Not copper like normal pennies, but silver-colored, giving it a completely different weight, look, and feel. When something like that slips through the minting process, it becomes a numismatic treasure. Another high-value example is the 1940 double-die obverse, where the date and the word Liberty appear doubled. These are easy to miss with the naked eye, but are extremely valuable to collectors. In high grade, these error coins can bring in $20,000 or more. And if it's an especially rare version, the price climbs even higher. Condition plays a massive role too. Coins that are in mint state, with sharp details and original red luster, are the ones that break records. The $65,000 wheat penny was nearly flawless, a perfect example of a rare variety in incredible condition. That combination is what sends prices soaring. These valuable coins are still out there. In jars, old collections, bankrolls, estate sales, even in your spare change. Don't overlook a 1940 penny. Flip it over, inspect it carefully, and if it looks unusual or flawless, it might be something truly special. Always check for off-center strikes, doubled letters, unusual coloring, or any detail that looks different. It could be your ticket to thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you've ever come across a rare coin in your own change. You never know, your next wheat penny could be worth a fortune. Top 2. We're diving into one of the most shocking and exciting discoveries in the world of coin collecting, a 1946 wheat penny that has gone absolutely viral for its insane value. It looks like an ordinary coin, something you'd find in your pocket, but this little copper cent has sold for a jaw-dropping $62,000. And it's one of the rarest and most mysterious coins in U.S. history. Let's rewind to 1946. World War II had just ended, and the U.S. Mint was back to producing coins with copper after a brief switch to steel in 1943. Over 1.5 billion wheat pennies were minted that year, making the 1946 cent one of the most common coins out there. But there's a twist. Not all 1946 pennies are the same. Somewhere in that massive production run, something went wrong. And that mistake created a penny so rare, so unique, it became a legend in the coin world. One particular 1946 penny turned up years later with some highly unusual features. And that's the one that ended up selling for over $62,000. This wasn't just any old penny. It was struck on a foreign planchet, meaning it wasn't made from the typical copper composition used that year. Instead, it had a silvery color and a different weight, instantly catching the eye of experienced collectors. Another version of the rare 1946 penny was found with a striking double-die error on the obverse. That means the date, the word Liberty, and even parts of Lincoln's face showed strong doubling. In the world of error coins, that's a big deal. Combine that with near-perfect condition, smooth fields, full detail, and original mint luster, and you've got a coin that collectors will pay tens of thousands to own. But that's not all. A small number of 1946 pennies are believed to have been accidentally struck with leftover steel blanks from 1943 or transitional planchets used during experimental runs. These coins are incredibly rare. Imagine holding a 1946 penny that looks and feels completely different, lighter, magnetic, or oddly colored. These kinds of mint errors are almost impossible to fake and are among the most sought after in the entire wheat penny series. And here's the wild part. These valuable 1946 pennies weren't discovered in museums or sealed vaults. They turned up in coin jars, old dresser drawers, estate sales, and inherited collections. Someone out there found a coin they thought was worth a penny, and it turned out to be worth over $62. 000. So how do you know if you have one? Start by checking for weight and color. If the coin looks different from other copper pennies, maybe it's silver-toned or unusually light, it could be a rare planchet error. Next, look for doubling on the date and lettering. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. Any signs of doubling or a strange strike could mean you've got something special. Finally, check the condition. Coins with original luster and no major scratches or wear can skyrocket in value. The 1946 wheat penny is proof that even a common date can hide unbelievable secrets. It's a reminder that there are still hidden treasures out there in junk drawers, pocket change, and coin rolls. So don't ignore those old pennies. Look closely. What seems ordinary could be worth thousands, maybe even $62,000 or more. Thanks for watching. If you found this story fascinating, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin content, and let me know in the comments if you've ever come across a strange or valuable coin. You never know. Your next wheat penny could be a legend in disguise. Top 3. Right before the transition to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. So at first glance, a 1956 penny doesn't seem rare. It's everywhere. But within those billions of coins, a handful were struck with rare and dramatic mint errors that make them worth a small fortune. The 1956 penny that sold for $52,000 had one of the most extreme and rare errors known in modern American coinage, a double die obverse. This means the coin was struck with a die that had the design impressed twice, slightly off from each other. As a result, the date 1956, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust" all appear to have a shadow or doubling effect, clearly visible even without a microscope in the most dramatic cases. This kind of doubling creates a visual error that's not only rare, but highly desirable to collectors. On top of that, this particular coin was in nearly perfect mint condition, what collectors call a mint state 67 red, or even higher. That means the coin still had its full original copper red luster, razor-sharp details, and virtually no marks or scratches. The combination of the error and the exceptional preservation is what drove the price into the five-figure range. But that's not the only 1956 penny commanding big bucks. There are also known examples of off-center strikes, strikes on foreign planchets, and repunched mint marks, especially the D mint mark from the Denver Mint. These errors are all rare on their own, but when found on a coin from a year with such a massive mintage, they stand out even more. They're proof that even in high-volume years, mistakes happen, and sometimes those mistakes are worth tens of thousands. What makes this story even crazier is that these coins don't always come from auctions or elite collections. The $52,000 penny came from a casual collector who found the coin in a roll of old wheat pennies that had been sitting in a closet for years. No one expected it to be valuable. It looked like any other coin at first. But with the right knowledge and a closer inspection, it turned out to be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. So how can you tell if your 1956 penny is rare or valuable? First, check the date and lettering. If you see strong doubling, especially on the numbers and letters, that's a red flag in the best way. Use a magnifier or phone camera to zoom in and look closely. Next, examine the mint mark. If it's doubled or repunched, especially a bold D over another D, that could also increase value. Lastly, check the coin's overall condition. A coin with full red color, no wear, and sharp details will always be worth more. The key takeaway? Never underestimate old coins, especially wheat pennies from the 1950s. Even common years like 1956 can hide incredible rarities. A coin you've seen 1,000 times could actually be a hidden gem worth tens of thousands of dollars. All it takes is the right combination of error, rarity, and condition, and you could be looking at a coin worth $52,000 or more. Thanks for watching. If you found this story interesting, hit that like button, subscribe for more content on rare and valuable coins, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found something unexpected in your collection. You never know, your next penny might just be a piece of history. Top 4. We're talking about one of the most unbelievable and unexpected treasures ever found in American coin collecting, a 1957 wheat penny that sold for an astonishing $55,000. That's right, a coin that millions of people have seen, spent, or even thrown in a drawer without thinking twice. But one rare version of this 1957 penny became a viral sensation after it shocked collectors and stunned the auction world with its record-breaking price. At first glance, a 1957 wheat penny looks completely ordinary. Over 1.3 billion of these were minted, mostly at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. It's one of the most common dates in the entire wheat penny series, and most people would never even think to give it a second look. But here's the twist. Buried among those billions are a tiny handful of coins with rare errors and unique traits that make them some of the most valuable pennies in American history. The 1957 penny that made headlines and sold for $55,000 wasn't just about age or rarity alone. It had a combination of two things that make coin collectors go wild: a dramatic mint error and exceptional condition. The coin featured a bold double die obverse, meaning that when it was struck, the die had a misalignment, and the design elements, including the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust," appear doubled. Not faintly or subtly, but clearly and visibly, even without a microscope. That kind of strong doubling is incredibly rare for 1957 and instantly turns a common penny into a collector's dream. Even more astonishing, the coin was preserved in nearly perfect shape, a mint state 67 red, with full, blazing red luster and flawless surfaces. That level of preservation, especially for an error coin from the 1950s, is almost unheard of. Coins like this weren't supposed to survive in circulation. They were meant to be spent, scratched, worn down, or tossed into jars. But this one somehow stayed pristine for over 6 decades, and when it finally came to auction, the bids exploded. And it gets even more interesting. This coin wasn't pulled from a high-end coin dealer or a museum archive. It was discovered by a casual collector, someone who had inherited a small coin collection from a relative. It sat in a box for years until someone finally took a closer look and noticed something was off. That small moment of curiosity turned into a massive payout. There are also a few other rare 1957 errors that can bring serious money. Some coins were struck off-center, while others were struck on foreign planchets, meaning they were accidentally minted on blanks meant for coins from another country. These planchet errors can make the penny appear thinner, thicker, or even silver in color. These aren't common. They're once-in-a-lifetime mistakes. But when they happen, their value skyrockets. You might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare 1957 wheat pennies? First, look at the date and lettering. If you see any signs of doubling, especially strong, clear doubling on the date, or the word liberty, that could be a valuable double die. Second, examine the color and condition. A bright red coin with little to no wear is much more desirable. Third, feel the coin. If it's noticeably lighter or heavier than a normal penny, or if it looks silver instead of copper, it might be a wrong planchet error, and that could be worth thousands. The lesson here is simple. Even the most common-looking coin can be worth a fortune. The 1957 wheat penny is living proof that some of the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight, tucked away in jars, coin rolls, or forgotten drawers. You don't need to be a professional collector to find them. All you need is a sharp eye and a little bit of curiosity. So the next time you come across a 1957 penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. That little copper coin could be your ticket to something huge, maybe even $55,000 or more. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to learn more about rare coins that are hiding right under our noses, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with other collectors. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin or have a 1957 wheat penny in your collection. You never know what it might be worth. Stay sharp, stay curious, and happy collecting. Top 5. We're diving into one of the most iconic, mysterious, and valuable coins in American numismatic history, the 1958 wheat penny that shocked the collecting world by selling for an incredible $51,000. That's right, a simple 1-cent coin, struck in the final year of the legendary wheat penny series, turned out to be one of the rarest and most sought-after coins ever discovered. At first glance, the 1958 wheat penny looks just like any other. Abraham Lincoln on the front, 2 wheat stalks on the back, minted in huge numbers. In fact, over 250 million were struck that year, so it's one of the most common coins from the 1950s. But hidden within that massive production run was a mistake, an extremely rare mint error that created a coin so scarce and so perfect that it changed everything. This isn't just a story about a penny. It's a story about a 1958 double-die obverse wheat penny, one of the rarest known errors in U.S. coinage. The doubling on this coin is bold and unmistakable. The words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1958 all appear to have been stamped twice, slightly offset, creating a powerful visual effect. This isn't something subtle. It's clear, obvious, and instantly catches the eye. And it was caused when the coin die itself was engraved twice with a slight shift between impressions, something that should have been caught during production, but wasn't. Only a very small handful of these double-die 1958 wheat pennies have ever been authenticated. We're talking fewer than 5 confirmed examples. In one of them, in incredible condition, with full red mint luster, razor-sharp detail, and virtually no flaws, went on to sell for a jaw-dropping $51,000. That coin became a viral sensation in the coin-collecting world. Not just for its rarity, but for its unexpected discovery. It wasn't found in a museum or a vault. It came from an old roll of pennies, forgotten in a drawer for decades, passed down from one generation to another. Someone took the time to look closely, saw the doubling, had it authenticated, and the rest is history. What makes this coin even more fascinating is that 1958 was the final year for the wheat penny. Starting in 1959, the reverse design changed to the Lincoln Memorial, ending the wheat era forever. So to find a major, dramatic error in the last year of production makes the 1958 double die even more special, a true part of coin history. There are also rumors and reports of other 1958 pennies struck on foreign planchets, or with off-center strikes, but the true star of the year is without a doubt the double die obverse, a coin so rare, even the U.S. Mint didn't realize it had happened until years later. If you have a 1958 wheat penny, here's what you should do. First, check the date and lettering carefully. Look for doubling, not a shadow, not blurriness, but clear, sharp duplication of the letters and numbers. If you spot anything unusual, don't ignore it. Second, check the condition. The value skyrockets if the coin still has its original red copper tone and minimal wear. Lastly, if you're not sure what you're looking at, get a second opinion from a trusted coin expert or grading service, because you might be holding one of the rarest pennies in U.S. history. Coins like this are what make collecting so exciting. They prove that incredible value can be hidden in plain sight. A coin that was worth a cent in 1958 can now command over $50,000, just because of a rare mistake and a little luck. Thanks for tuning in. If you love rare coin stories like this one, hit that like button, subscribe for more hidden treasure finds, and let us know in the comments if you've ever found anything rare in your pocket change. Keep looking, stay curious, and happy collecting.